Hey AJ, I'm here at the Mall of America, the media hub for everyone who is working for Super Bowl 52 throughout the week. In Game 1 of the Central Division semifinals, Alex Schilling stopped 20 of 21 Minnesota shots. In Game 2, he was big between the pipes again. Just standing here live at the bank, you can feel the excitement, not only from head coach PJ Fleck, but from the players and the fans. Today was a different story. The Eagles have been the underdogs the entire postseason, and in the fourth quarter, they were the underdogs again when Tom Brady had the ball. There was a few whispers yesterday after their third straight victory. The Cyclones football team just may crack the top 25. And today, the drought officially is over. Our Haas Stadium hasn't seen postseason football in quite some time, 12 years to be exact. But after a 500 regular season record, the Pack are packing their homestands. AJ, I guess you could call me a seasoned veteran when it comes to covering track and field in weather like this, but I've learned a thing or two along the way. These stands are going to be a sea of white in just under an hour for MC's whiteout, with the home court advantage at an all-time high. Both teams came out strong for the season with hard-fought wins and showed a glimpse at just how good they both can be. The Austin Bruins already have their playoff spot clinched, currently in second in the Central, tied with the Wilderness at 70 points. Last time the Timberwolves reached the playoffs, Andrew Wiggins was in fourth grade. So clearly, this whole postseason scenario is new to the Wolves Nation. If I was going to win a Spotlight Play of the Night award, this would be the one I would want to win. The entire season can hinge on a single moment in this huge Week 9 showdown. But with Walk-On making the 2-hour trek west, the Lions are hoping their home crowd will give them the edge. In Clear Lake, Whitney Blakemore, KIMT News 3 Sports. On a gravel road in rural Floyd County, looking to your left, you see nothing but cornfields. But turn to your right and feast your eyes on one of the only grass tennis courts in the Midwest.
You can't get any closer to a Wimbledon court than this tennis court right here.
From the wrought iron gate to the logo, and of course the grass. You'd never guess Wimbledon is a mere 4,090 miles away.
I am more excited about this bout than any of them.
There's lots to love about roller derby. It's competitive, you're on skates, and there's plenty of
hitting and traveling a lot.
Have you ever seen a 7-goal game by one person?
Never. Nope. That's new for me.
For most, a hat trick is impressive, but for Kiki O'Neill, that's nothing now after her 7-goal game on Thursday to help Mason City blank Webster City 8-0. Over 93 sailboats were out on the water in Clear Lake today, preparing for the dinghy championship set for Monday and Tuesday. But these aren't ordinary sailors. The Jones duo took 4th and 2nd at the state co-ed meet, Gretchen's freshman and sophomore year respectively. It all started just outside the Anderson household years ago.
We know that he'll pull through.
And with 75% of them returning and a speedy freshman stepping into the relay, NK is confident they can get back to state with their senior anchor leading the way. For Doug Ledley, entering the Yellow Bass Bonanza for the 4th straight year was a no-brainer, getting to compete in one of his favorite sports.
Hanging out with all our buddies and just having a good time.
Last year, in Alex Schilling's rookie season, he finished at 9-13. Flipped to year 2, and so did his record, with the goals against average at .235.
Due to a torn ACL, Whitney Blakemore takes us on her road to recovery.
You know, it's just like home. It just feels natural, not playing, and being out and just watching. Yeah, it was fun cheering on my teammates and helping them, but it's just really nice to be back and doing my thing.
And Snelling's thing is tearing it up on the course. State runner-up as a freshman, state champion as a sophomore and junior. There's not much left for Snelling to do but win it all once again.
Being back at state golf would just be awesome, but winning is always the goal for team and individual, and I'm just excited to see where that will take me.
And getting back to state is looking more realistic than ever. She returned to the course last week and on Monday, in her 3rd meet back, won the North Central Conference title without a driver in her bag.
We didn't think she'd be back at all this season, and you know, Emily's one of those girls that she'll do anything to get back on this golf course, and you know, if she had to swing with a torn ACL, she would.
Snelling's desire to return is catching Clear Lake by storm. She even has a couple new fans.
All these little kids are coming up to me and like telling me how bad they felt, and it just like made me feel happy because I've made an impact on them, and I hope I continue to do so.
Even through the injuries, Snelling always pictured herself coming back to the course and going out on her terms.
It would have been a disappointing way to go out, you know, her athletic career, not being able to play at all. But ever since day one of the practice, she's been out here chipping and putting, just doing anything she can to get better.
You know, there's something good way in. There has to be something good that comes out of this, and I've learned a lot of lessons from that. And I just think that there's going to be a great outcome.
Whitney Blakemore, KIMT, News 3 Sports. Hampton Dumont loves their red, but tonight donning crimson is more than just Bulldog pride. On National Wear Red Day to honor women affected by heart disease, going red is hitting close to home.
Never take a moment of our experiences for granted and be a supportive family as we all play for Casey.
Just last week, after a basketball game, Hampton Dumont freshman Casey Argis knew something wasn't right.
I started to feel like a really pounding in my right side of chest, and it felt different from usual than like just working hard, so I knew something was up.
Maybe it was mother's intuition, maybe it's because Cindy Argis herself has hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. But Casey's mom knew they had to get it checked out.
My knowledge with knowing that with HCM, I think was great, because otherwise we would have blamed it on anxiety or just her working so hard, you know.
Suck it up and
you know, yeah.
After some tests, it was determined Casey too had HCM.
I was very emotional, and I was just, upset.
A condition that is known for the most tragic of outcomes, sudden cardiac death, because sometimes it can go unnoticed until it's too late. How hard is that as parents to know that she has something with a name like that?
Wow.
I know, starting hard, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's very difficult.
Something that we're going to have to live with, you know, and keep an eye on it.
But thankfully, they caught it in time, and it can be managed, but that means only playing about 2 minutes of basketball a game, or potentially never playing again.
My best friends are out there, and my sister. It's just going to be hard not playing with them and watching the rest of my team.
It's tough. Casey wanted to be a college basketball player, but, you know, there's so much more that she can do and help people, and she'll find what she can do.
Starting tonight, she found that new role on the bench, coaching her Bulldog team up and cheering on her twin sister, Macy.
You got to understand there's other things that are more important in life, you know, to be able to see Casey every day, you know, and not have something happen to her on the court, you know, and to just have her there with you.
But I don't think anyone quite knew just how close it would get. Let's get right to the highlights. We're scoreless in the first quarter. Cyclones offense clicking early. Jacob Park leaves one up in the corner of the end zone for Alan Lazard, who wins the one-on-one battle. Cyclones on the board first. Monte Morris liking the way that sounds. Iowa's turn inside the red zone. Nate Stanley with the screen to Nick Easley, who does the rest for the 10-yard TD. And we're all tied up through the first. Start of the fourth, Cyclones closing in on a victory. Pitch back to David Montgomery, and watch this workhorse take on a host of Hawkeyes and barrel on in for 6 more. But Iowa is not done. Nate Stanley lobs one up for Amir Smith-Marset in the back of the end zone. What a dive, what a catch. Tonight, the second-ranked Packers are looking for some revenge in their packed house. John Marshall is ranked 10th in 4A with an 11-1 record. Austin enters the night undefeated. Rockets score first, but Packers rattle off an 11-0 run. This triple by Tate Hebring kicks it off. Pack need a big game from their 6'4 senior, and they get exactly that. Duth Gotch from outside, you betcha. Now Hebring with the steal, and he passes ahead to Gotch for the one-handed slam. His home crowd loving that one, but Rockets start to settle down. Inside they go to the 5-star recruit Matthew Hurt, taking it to the 10. At 138, we've got another top wrestler, New Hampton's Michael Blockus. It took him just 45 seconds to pin Roland Story's Cody Hasselbrock. Both head to the well. At 113, it's another Green Devil. Joe Sullivan puts on a clinic to take first. A 15-7 major gets him a spot on the state bracket. At 1:45, Nashua Plainfield gets another champ. Tristan Brace gets the takedown here over Osage's Spencer Mooberry to help secure the 7-4 first place decision. The North Iowa Bulls can clinch their 6th consecutive division championship tonight if they can beat La Crosse, and it doesn't take long for the Bulls to build a hefty lead. There's a nice goal from Brendan Studioso, and then off the steal, Dan Sandvig gets the apple for the backhanded goal. Bulls clinch the Central 7-2, and the Bees are still fighting for first place. They are currently second, 6 points behind first place Aberdeen. A-Town is at home for 2 games this weekend against last place Brookings in the second period. Bruins up 2-1, but the Blizzard take advantage of a 5-on-3. Doug Larson with the wrister and Max Sasson redirects in the equalizer. Now it's Austin with the man advantage. Travis Koppenbudel going 5-hole back at the point. It slips through, and Dan Petrick cleans it up for the goal. Austin now firing a bouncing pass down low. Andy Willis with a no-look pass behind the net. Back to Xander Lampa going top shelf. The Blizzard ties it back up with just 16 ticks left in the second period, but Austin has the final say, 5-4.